Are we alone in the universe? I mean, it's a question that just grabs you, doesn't it?
It really does. It's one of those fundamental questions about our existence.
And today we're diving deep into two incredible near-death experiences that offer some pretty fascinating perspectives on this whole alien life thing.
Right. We've got these two individuals, Sarah, who was an astrophysicist, so she was already deep into the cosmos.
Yeah, someone who dedicated her life to studying the stars.
And then Alex, who wasn't particularly religious before his experience.
Totally different backgrounds, right?
Yeah. But here's the thing. They both had these profound encounters with Jesus during their NDEs.
And get this. They both got surprisingly similar answers about whether aliens exist. It's like, whoa.
It really makes you wonder if there's something universal about this question, something that goes beyond our individual beliefs.
Okay, so let's start with Sarah's experience. Imagine, right? You're fascinated by the stars, always have been. That fascination leads you to become an astrophysicist. So you're using science to try to unlock the secrets of the universe.
Trying to figure out what's out there.
But you also hold on to your faith, attending church, feeling connected to something bigger than yourself.
That intersection of science and spirituality is so interesting.
It is. So one night, she's driving home from the observatory, her mind probably buzzing with all this data, and bam, she's in a car accident.
And that's where everything changes.
Yeah, instead of waking up in pain, she finds herself floating through this tunnel of light.
Classic near-death experience imagery.
But for her, it's like she's being transported to a realm beyond human comprehension. As she moves through this tunnel, she senses a presence beside her. It's Jesus, bathed in radiant light.
And she knows it's him, no doubt.
And of course, with a million questions swirling in her mind, the one that pops up first is, are there aliens? It's the question that's always driven her.
The question that probably every astrophysicist asks at some point.
And Jesus tells her that the universe is vast and teeming with diverse life forms. Way more than we can even imagine.
Wow. That must have been mind-blowing for her.
Right. To have her lifelong fascination validated like that. But being a scientist, she wants more. You know, she's got to ask, why haven't we found any concrete evidence then? If there's all this life out there, where is it?
It's the Fermi paradox.
Exactly. And Jesus' explanation is where things get really trippy. He explains that the universe operates on a scale that's just beyond human perception. Like time and space, even the laws of physics as we know them, they aren't constant throughout the universe. He says some civilizations might exist in dimensions we can't access or even comprehend.
So it's not that they're not out there, it's that we might not have the tools to even perceive them.
It's like, imagine a flat sheet of paper, okay? That's our 3D world. But there could be another sheet right next to ours, filled with beings we can't see or interact with because we're stuck on our own sheet.
That's a good way to visualize it.
And as she continues this journey with Jesus, Sarah is shown glimpses of these other realms, planets with multiple suns, beings made of pure energy, civilizations that operate in ways we can't even fathom.
It's like a cosmic tour guided by someone who knows the universe inside and out.
And throughout it all, Jesus emphasizes that her curiosity and wonder, they're gifts. You know, they drive her to explore and understand the magnificence of creation.
It's like he's saying, keep searching, keep exploring, keep asking questions.
But he also reminds her that some truths can only be found in the human heart and in the connections we build with each other.
So it's not just about the science, it's about the human element too.
Exactly. And then, just like that, Sarah is pulled back to her body, wakes up in a hospital bed with the pain of her injuries rushing back.
Back to reality.
But it's accompanied by this profound sense of peace and purpose, a new understanding of her place in the universe.
She brings back this cosmic perspective.
And changes everything. Her research, her whole approach to science, it takes on a new dimension. She's no longer just looking for signals or biosignatures. She's open to possibilities beyond our current understanding.
She's thinking outside the box.
And it's all because of this incredible experience.
So that's Sarah's story. Now let's talk about Alex. Remember, he wasn't particularly religious before his NDE.
Yeah, he believed in a higher power, but wasn't a regular churchgoer or anything.
But one ordinary morning, driving to work, his life changed forever.
It's crazy how these things happen, right? In the most mundane moments.
He's driving along thinking about work, normal stuff.
And suddenly, a truck loses control, causing a massive pileup. Alex's car, right in the middle of it.
Oh, wow.
His last memory, a blinding flash of light, and then darkness.
That darkness, it's often described as a transitional phase in NDEs.
A gateway to another realm.
Exactly.
And for Alex, This darkness gives way to a soft, warm glow. He finds himself floating in this vast ocean of light, feeling this tranquility he's never experienced before. As he's adjusting to this strange new reality, he sees a figure approaching him. And it's Jesus.
Even though he wasn't particularly religious before.
I know, right? It's pretty wild. And before Alex can even speak, Jesus says, "You have questions."
Of course he does. He's in the middle of this incredible experience.
I mean, wouldn't you? Where am I? Am I dead? What's going on? But the one question that overrides all the others is, do aliens exist?
The age-old question.
It really is. And Jesus' response is not your typical Sunday school answer, that's for sure.
So what does he say?
He smiles, and the light around them seems to pulse with this feeling of amusement and affection. He says, Alex, humanity's curiosity never ceases to amaze me. Even in the face of eternity, you seek to understand the vastness of creation.
Like he's acknowledging our innate desire to explore and understand the universe.
And then get this, Jesus gestures, and suddenly they're surrounded by the cosmos. Galaxies swirling, stars pulsing, planets orbiting.
Wow, like a cosmic IMAX show.
But times a million. And with this overwhelming sense of awe and wonder that you just couldn't get from any technology.
A true cosmic perspective.
And Jesus says the universe is far more vast and wondrous than any human mind can comprehend.
That's a pretty powerful statement.
And then he says, "In my Father's house are many rooms," as it is written in John 14:2. But these words speak not just of heaven, but of the entirety of creation. And with that, they zoom in on this particular galaxy.
Getting closer and closer.
Yeah, then a solar system, and finally a planet.
An alien planet.
It looks like Earth, but different, like a mirror image with these fascinating twists. This planet has continents, but they're shaped differently. And the oceans, they're lavender. And get this, 2 moons in the sky.
That's incredible.
It really stretches your imagination.
Makes you realize how much we don't know.
And Jesus confirms this. He says, life in all its myriad forms is a testament to the creativity and love of the Creator. Just as there are countless species on Earth, so too are there countless forms of life throughout the universe.
So the diversity of life we see here on Earth is just a tiny fraction of what's out there.
Exactly. And as he's speaking, Alex sees flashes of this planet's surface, strange plants swaying, creatures unlike anything he's ever seen. He even sees these bioluminescent beings dancing in the lavender oceans.
It sounds like something out of a science fiction movie.
But for Alex, it's real. And then the scientific part of him kicks in. He's got to ask, if they're out there, why haven't we found them? What about all those signals we've sent into space?
The Fermi paradox again?
You got it. And Jesus' answer, it's deep, man. He says, the universe is vast, Alex, and time is long. Humanity is young, and there's much you have yet to learn and discover. But more importantly, he says, there's much you have yet to understand about yourselves and your place in creation.
Wow, he's shifting the focus from external exploration to internal exploration.
It's like he's saying our search for extraterrestrial life is not just about finding other beings. It's about understanding ourselves, our place in this grand scheme of things.
They're looking inward as well as outward.
And then the scene shifts again. Now they're looking at Earth from space. A beautiful blue marble just hanging there.
A reminder of how fragile our planet is.
And Jesus says, before you seek out other worlds, you must learn to be better stewards of your own. The aliens you so desperately seek are not the answer to humanity's problems, nor are they a threat to your existence.
That's important.
They are simply fellow travelers in the grand tapestry of creation.
So we're not alone, but we need to focus on taking care of our own home.
Right. It's a message that hits home, especially with all the environmental challenges we're facing.
Climate change, pollution, loss of biodiversity.
It's like we've forgotten that we're part of this intricate web of life. And looking at Earth from that perspective, you realize how important it is to take care of our planet.
It's a powerful message.
Alex, totally overwhelmed by the beauty and fragility of Earth, he asks, will we ever meet them? His voice filled with a mixture of excitement and apprehension.
I think we all wonder that.
And Jesus places a hand on Alex's shoulder, filling him with this warmth that feels like pure love, and says, all things are possible with God. But remember, the journey is often more important than the destination. The search for life beyond Earth has already taught humanity much about itself, about the preciousness of life, and about the need to care for your cosmic home.
That's beautiful. It's about the journey of discovery, not just the end goal.
It really is. It's fascinating how both Sarah and Alex despite their different backgrounds, they came away from their NDEs with this shared sense of responsibility for our planet, for all life. Seems like a pretty central theme here.
It's like their encounters with the divine, regardless of their individual interpretations, led them to a similar understanding of our interconnectedness with all things.
And as Jesus speaks, Alex sees visions of humanity's future. Technological advancements, a renewed appreciation for the environment, people coming together across cultures in this pursuit of knowledge.
Sounds hopeful.
He sees the potential for progress, but also the challenges, the potential for conflict, the ethical dilemmas of space exploration.
So it's not all sunshine and roses.
The struggle to hold on to our humanity as we reach for the stars, it's a complex picture, full of possibilities and challenges.
It's a reminder that the future is not set in stone. Our choices shape the path we take.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here, but let's pause for a moment and bring it back to you, the listener. What's standing out to you so far? What resonates with your own thoughts about alien life and our place in the universe?
It's a lot to take in, for sure. What's striking me is how these two individuals with such different backgrounds had similar experiences. It's like their NDEs stripped away all those preconceived notions, and revealed this deeper truth about the universe.
It's almost like their individual perspectives, their unique life experiences, they all converged at this point of near death, revealing a shared understanding.
Precisely. And what's even more fascinating is that their NDEs, they didn't just offer answers about alien life, they also prompted these profound personal transformations.
You're right. Remember how Sarah, the astrophysicist, found a deeper connection between her scientific pursuits and her faith? Like she realized they weren't at odds but complementary paths towards understanding the universe.
It's a beautiful example of how these experiences can bridge the gap between what we often perceive as separate domains.
Yeah.
Science and spirituality.
And then there's Alex. He went from someone who wasn't particularly religious to someone who embraced this broader sense of spirituality, a connection to something far greater than himself.
It seems like they both developed a deeper appreciation for all life, this sense of responsibility for our planet.
And a desire to live more consciously.
And compassionately.
It's like their NDEs awakened this new level of awareness within them.
And what's remarkable is that they both felt compelled to share their experiences, not to convince anyone, but to inspire.
This sense of awe and possibility.
They wanted others to look at the universe with fresh eyes, with wonder and curiosity.
It's easy to dismiss these stories as hallucinations or dreams, but there's something about the consistency of their experiences.
The shared themes that emerge.
That's hard to ignore, especially when you consider the impact these experiences had on their lives. They weren't just fleeting moments. They fundamentally changed how Sarah and Alex viewed themselves and the world around them.
Their stories challenge us to consider that maybe, just maybe, there's more to reality than what we can currently perceive or understand.
And even if we set aside the religious aspects of their experiences, the messages they bring back are pretty universal. The interconnectedness of all life, the vastness and diversity of the universe, the need for greater understanding and compassion.
These are themes that resonate deeply, regardless of your beliefs. They speak to our shared humanity, our search for meaning and connection in this vast and often bewildering universe.
Speaking of searching, let's go back to Sarah for a moment. Remember, her experience led her to approach her research in a whole new way. She started looking beyond the traditional methods of searching for extraterrestrial life.
It's like she realized that our current scientific instruments and methods, they might be limiting our ability to detect certain forms of life or even entire civilizations.
Exactly. Remember that analogy we talked about earlier, the one about the flat sheet of paper representing our 3D world? What if alien civilizations exist on a different sheet, in a dimension we can't perceive with our current technology?
It's a mind-boggling concept, but it certainly opens up a whole new realm of possibilities.
And Sarah embraced those possibilities. She started collaborating with biologists who were studying extremophiles, those organisms that thrive in extreme environments like deep-sea vents or volcanic hot springs.
Fascinating. So she's thinking, if life can exist in those seemingly impossible places here on Earth, imagine what could be out there in the vastness of space.
And Alex's experience also had a profound impact on his life. He found himself drawn to both scientific and spiritual pursuits, volunteering at observatories, attending interfaith dialogues.
Trying to bridge those worlds.
He even started a support group for people who had experienced NDEs.
It's like he was trying to integrate his experience into his life, to make sense of it, and share what he had learned with others.
What's striking about both their stories is that they didn't become fixated on proving the existence of aliens. Instead, they focused on the transformative power of their experiences and how those experiences could inspire others to live more meaningful lives.
It's a beautiful testament to the human spirit's ability to find meaning and purpose, even in the face of profound mystery.
Their NDEs weren't just about encountering aliens or having visions of other realms. They were about coming to a deeper understanding of themselves, their place in the universe, and their connection to all life.
It's like they went on these incredible journeys, not just through space and time, but through their own inner landscapes.
Exactly. And what they brought back from those journeys were insights and perspectives that could benefit all of humanity.
So where does this leave us? What do we do with this information, with these incredible stories?
That's the question we're all left to ponder, isn't it? These accounts, they challenge us to reconsider our assumptions, to open our minds to new possibilities, and to approach the universe with a sense of wonder and humility.
They remind us that there's still so much we don't know, so much we have yet to discover.
And perhaps the search for alien life, it's not just about finding other beings, but about understanding ourselves, our place in the universe, and the interconnectedness of all life. You know, it's interesting how both Sarah and Alex's NDEs touched upon this theme of humanity's responsibility.
Yeah.
It wasn't just about, exploring the cosmos and discovering new life forms, but about how we conduct ourselves here on Earth,
Right.
in our interactions with each other and with all life.
Like they were being told, before you go venturing out into the galaxy, make sure your own house is in order.
Exactly. And this message of responsibility ties in so well with that concept of stewardship that emerged in both accounts. Jesus emphasized, the importance of caring for our planet.
Right.
Not just for ourselves, but for all the life it sustains.
It's a timely message.
Especially now, right?
Especially now when we're facing such unprecedented environmental challenges.
Climate change, biodiversity loss, pollution.
Yeah.
It's like we've forgotten that we're part of this intricate web of life, not separate from it.
And these NDEs suggest that our actions have consequences, not just for ourselves, but for that whole web of life.
Yeah.
It's a call to shift our perspective, from one of exploitation and dominance to one of interconnectedness and reverence for all life.
So if we take these NDEs seriously, if we really embrace this idea that we're not alone in the universe and that our actions have these cosmic consequences, what does that mean for us? How do we live differently?
That's the question, isn't it?
It's a big one.
It is. I think it starts with awareness, recognizing that our choices, even the seemingly small ones, have an impact.
It's about making those conscious choices in our daily lives, right?
Right.
How we consume, how we travel, how we treat each other, and how we treat the environment.
How we treat everything.
It's about recognizing that we're all connected, that our actions have ripple effects.
Exactly.
It's almost like we need to develop this sort of cosmic consciousness, a way of seeing ourselves as part of this vast and interconnected universe.
These NDEs challenge us to step outside of our limited perspective to see the bigger picture.
And to act.
To act with greater awareness and compassion.
And, they remind us that we're not alone on this journey.
We're not.
We have each other. We have the wisdom of those who came before us.
And who knows?
And perhaps, as these NDEs suggest, we have countless other beings out there in the universe, also striving to understand their place in the grand scheme of things.
It's humbling, isn't it?
To think that we're part of something so much bigger than ourselves.
A cosmic dance that's been going on for billions of years.
It really makes you realize that our differences here on Earth are pretty insignificant in the grand scheme of things.
We're all in this together, sharing this incredible journey through time and space.
And maybe, just maybe, by embracing this cosmic perspective, by acting with greater compassion and understanding, we can create a better future, not just for ourselves, but for all life.
It's a future worth striving for, a future where we've learned to live in harmony with each other, with our planet.
With the universe itself.
Yeah.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into the mysteries of alien life and near-death experiences, I'm left with this sense of awe and wonder. A sense that the universe is far more vast and mysterious than we can ever imagine.
And a sense of hope.
Yeah.
That perhaps by embracing the lessons we've explored today, we can create a more compassionate, sustainable, and interconnected world.
It's a lot to ponder, but I think it's worth taking the time to reflect on these stories, to let them sink in, and consider what they might mean for our lives, our choices, and our future.
Perhaps the question isn't so much, are we alone, but rather, how do we choose to live knowing that we're part of something far greater than ourselves?
That's a great question to leave our listeners with today. Thanks for joining us on this incredible journey. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep looking up at the stars with wonder and curiosity.